Indeed, my vast experience in non-recipients has taught me to set a higher bar for myself and to gracefully take joy in the accomplishments of those distant cousins and friends of mine, the award recipients. Because though it's always nice to be recognized, and though the margin between a recipient and a non-recipient is often razor thin, a community is always enriched when it gathers together to celebrate excellence. The Greek philosopher Aristotle said, "Excellence is an art won by training and habituation." We do not act rightly because we have virtue or excellence, but rather we have those because we've acted rightly. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. Now, I don't know if Aristotle was much of a football fan, but I think what he's suggesting is that excellence is more often attained through a series of 3-yard runs, the proverbial 3 yards in a cloud of dust, than it is through the Hail Mary. This morning we gather to recognize some, though certainly not all, of the excellence that's been going on at Falmouth Academy over the past year. It also marks a time to celebrate the successful completion of our school year together. Congratulations to all students for a job very well done. Thank you so much. In front of me and around the periphery of our assembly today are just a few of the dedicated and talented professionals, fellow veteran non-recipients, I suspect, who've worked closely with you the past 10 months. They represent other teachers who've done the same. Like so many endeavors, education is most effective when it's a team effort. And I'm grateful to all of them for being a part of your team. Please join me in congratulating the faculty on the time and care, the blood, sweat, and tears that they've expended on your behalf, on our behalf, these past 10 months. So in a moment, I'm going to cede the podium to our departmental awards, but just a quick logistical note, right? Which is that we are going to capture your photograph if you're up here, and what we would suggest is that you will come up here, right, Ms. Moffat, and stand with me for a photo.
Yes.
Correct, and then they'll go down and get their certificate from.
No.
No.
The person who's giving the certificate
Got it.
comes up and then hands it to them.
Perfect, up here.
Yes.
Perfect. And of course, when you come up, you may remove your mask, and we're going to stay away from handshakes today, though, or hand contact. So you'll have your certificate handed to you, and have a photograph, and head back, and we will congratulate you. So that's all I have to kick the program off, other than to enjoy the great privilege of introducing to you our photography teacher extraordinaire. Correct? No? Am I wrong? Ms. Susan Moffat.
It's so hard being first. All right, so I have 2 awards. One is for dedication, and the next is for distinction in photography. So this photographer has a way of seeing that goes above and beyond. His angles are exceptional, and his vision continues to grow. Whether he's seeing a simple yellow line on a highway or creating an end racism poster, his images are bold and captivating. And the award for dedication in photography goes to Dylan Fodler. is in distinction in photography, and whether he's photographing a ram on a farm in Montana or an almost abstract aerial drone image of a jetty, this photographer has a phenomenal eye for design, and his technique is strong. And the award for distinction in photography goes to Jackson Gill.
Prosser couldn't be here today, so I'm presenting the Middle School Drama Award. So with unbridled enthusiasm, this student has dove headlong into a challenging year for drama. Anyone who takes drama knows that. With a collaborative spirit and inclusive energy that lifted the whole class. The student's teacher writes, "I appreciate all the risks this student has been willing to take during a very odd drama year, along with their willingness to embrace the weird, an essential component for drama, which made us all be our better selves." This year's Middle School Drama Award goes to Lyric Butler.
Hugs from afar.
The dedication in studio art goes to a painter who quietly and diligently worked on mastering the foundations of color theory. Inspired by her grandfather's pants, she closely observed, deconstructed, and mixed paints accurately. The dedication in studio art goes to Camille Brown.
Okay. Before we begin, I'd like to just say thank you guys for being so awesome this year. Okay. Starting the year, we started with many uncertainties and challenges, and we all kind of made it through. I'm thankful to you guys for your continued commitment to me, to physical education, and to the school, and your total commitment to having fun. You shared smiles under your masks, and may have added a few of my gray hairs or along the way by a few guys that I had to send out to the bench out in the hallway. Not to mention any names, but put your hands down. It was all in good gesture, and it's that fun that you have and joy of living that will carry you on forever and ever. My final words is for all of you guys, 7th and 8th graders, just to be safe and have fun this summer, and don't forget to wear your helmets. Okay, we have a couple of awards for Phys Ed, and the first award goes out to a person who has displayed leadership in physical education. She understands the importance of being a good sport and respecting individual differences, yet quietly perfecting and executing her skills. Trying not to bring attention to herself, she did this constantly. This individual understands the importance of wellness and its benefits relating to total fitness. The distinction in physical education goes to Maggie Ward. This other individual, when he enters the class, he brings enthusiasm that resonates amongst his peers. In his playful way, he completes whatever he is doing with perfection and a smile. After class, this individual looks around, lends a helping hand. His excitement to participate and respect for his classmates is a quality deserving of recognition. This individual is his dedicated approach to health and wellness is displayed by his character and athletic ways. The distinction in physical education goes to Hunter Johnson. All right, guys, thank you.
Hello. I am delighted to present this year's Resonance Awards. To those who aren't yet familiar with Resonance, it is Falmouth Academy's literary magazine, and it features exceptional creative writing and artwork from our upper school and middle school students. Resonance will be available online this year, and the link will be published in tonight's main sheet. And paper copies are available for the students who are published in the magazine. And to those of you who I'm about to name, you can find me next to Ms. Knowles by the blue table in the back to pick up your copy at the end of the ceremony. So congratulations to all of the authors, artists, and editors who are featured in this year's Resonance. From the middle school, we have Yaz Aubrey, Holden Brew, Lyric Buckley, Kian Davis, Aubryn Dubois, Lucia Gomez Ibanez, Thomas Gu, Elizabeth Jazzo, Lila Journalist, Susanna Lowell, Jack McGinnis, Sophia McGordy Sampaio, Faye McGuire, Ethan Plotkin, Henry Richens, Dara Sananacone Evans, Wyatt Thornton, Jackson Gearhart, David Aubrey, and Will Palmer. So please come see me after to get your copy. And now for the All-School Resonance Awards that are going to middle school students. The first is for poetry. This poignant poem brought tears to the eyes of our Resonance judges, who appreciated its beauty, simplicity, and emotional resonance. The third place prize for poetry this year goes to Nana's Afghan by 8th grader Lyric Buckley. Okay. This clever poem was a crowd pleaser and was quickly accepted into Resonance. The judges appreciated its wit, humor, and the lightheartedness. The second place prize for poetry goes to Susie Deer by 7th grader Faye McGuire. Finally, this story impressed our judges with its creativity and courage. This author tackled questions about immigration and adolescence with tact and poise. The story resonated with the judges, who are happy to award the second place prize for prose to The River by 8th grader Sophia McGordy Sampaio. Don't forget to pick up your copies after the ceremony. Thank you. Hello, I'm here to present the Middle School Science Department Awards for the year 2020-2021. This student's teacher describes this student as a joy to work with in science, taking care to track down a proper solution to every portion of every problem. The student's papers are eloquent and beautiful to read. The Middle School Dedication in Science Award is presented to Julietta Marzat. This student is a humble yet brilliant student of science. Helpful to classmates, this student rarely leads others astray with their insights. This student's contributions to the class discussions are outstanding and always appreciated. The winner of the Nancy Twitchell Middle School Distinction in Science Award is presented to Jack McGinnis.
The winner of the Middle School Math Dedication Award took her 8th grade math course head on and worked tirelessly to understand the concepts that were covered in the course. She was always willing to ask questions each class to improve her comprehension, and in turn, these investigations would help to drive the class discussions into exciting new directions. She took great pride in the quality of the work she produced. I'm pleased to present the award for dedication in mathematics to Ann Jeffrey. The recipient of the award for distinction in mathematics in the middle school goes to a young man who had a clear understanding of the material as soon as it was presented. He had a strong desire to master the inner workings of each problem. He was always willing to work with his classmates to help them understand the concepts that were being taught. The award for distinction in mathematics in the middle school is presented to Sebastian Verslicki.
Good afternoon. I'm here to present the awards, middle school awards for the Modern Language Department. Not a day passes without a careful, articulated, and insightful question about the workings of the French language posed by this devoted language student. She's attentive to even the most subtle of details and persistent in her endeavor to master exceptions to grammatical rules, as well as exceptions to the exceptions. In recognition of her excellent efforts throughout this academic year, dedication in French at the middle school level is awarded to Susanna Lowell. This student's inquisitive, humorous, and witty approach to learning a new language was wonderfully apparent throughout the year and a key to the student's remarkable progress in a German class for beginners. The award for dedication in middle school German goes to Matthew Kellogg. motivated student goes above and beyond, supplementing her study of Spanish with outside sources whenever possible. A strong work ethic and enthusiasm for learning have allowed the student to thrive, excelling in all endeavors, demonstrating consistent and accelerated growth. The dedication in Spanish award goes to Lucia Gomez. This student brings curiosity and joie de vivre to the French classroom each day. Her ability to express herself in French has flourished this year, and she readily demonstrates her passion for the language. For expanding vocabulary and remarkable ability to write and speak creatively and without error in her new second language, distinction in French at the middle school level is awarded to Talina Gagna. We would like to recognize a student who, all year long, worked tirelessly to further advance her mastery of the German language, continuously growing as a speaker and writer. The award for distinction in middle school German goes to Charlotte Watts. A standout all year, this student is fully engaged and leads by example. Both in oral and written communication, this student demonstrates excellent accuracy and attention to detail, thoroughly completing all assignments beyond expectations. What a phenomenal performance. A distinction in Spanish award goes to Carly Coggins.
All right, on to history awards. Like that. The award for dedication in middle school history goes to a conscientious, hardworking student. What her teacher especially loves about her is that she is not afraid to ask questions when she needs clarification. There is no gray area with this student. She is an honest, matter-of-fact kind of person who is refreshing for her age. The award is presented to Eliza Haney. As to distinction, this student knows what is expected of her as a student, and she fulfills those requirements to a T. Her work is carefully completed and always submitted on time. In class, she is not shy to share her ideas, even if they are sometimes not popular. She's a deep thinker, and I can always rely on her during discussions. The Lalise Malillo Middle School Award for Distinction in History goes to Gracie Coggins.
The award for dedication in middle school English goes to a student who, no matter what obstacle was placed in their path, including remote classes, a broken wrist, or simply a desire to perfect a piece of writing, always strives to find the right words. From stories to poems to detailed essays, this student's writing is always polished because of that kind of dedication. The award is presented to Eva Muldoon. The award for distinction in middle school English goes to a student whose enthusiasm for literature is palpable. Many days she is eagerly leaning forward in her seat, fairly bursting with ideas about what she's just read or her ideas for what she plans to write. She inspires the class to strive for excellence the way she does. The award for distinction in middle school English is presented to Lila Journal.
Okay, home stretch. Before we move to some middle school general awards, I do want to, as I do at assemblies like this, recognize the many of you that either in the fall trimester or in the winter trimester, by virtue of your academic performance, earned your way onto the head of school list. And so, let's go grade by grade. Save our applause till I'm finished reading the 7th grade students and move to the 8th grade. Ezra Ackerman, David Aubrey, Emma Benna, Lucian Bolton, Matthew Brown, Annabelle Bush, Elise Casso, Caroline Pazalt, Ronan Pazalt, Ian Davis, Max Donovan, Sophie Goggin, Talina Ganya, Eric Gullman, Elizabeth Jazzo, Matthew Kellogg, Willow LaJoy, Faye McGuire, Josh McGuire, Lila Melly, Arden O'Neill, Luke Akosha Michelle, Maverick Pill, Daisy Richardson, Robert Ronan, Darasena Connor Evans, Wyatt Thornton, Fanula Venetis, Willow Wakefield, and Ray Zhang. Congratulations. And in the 8th grade, either in fall or winter, earning their way on the heads of school list were Yasmin Aubrey, Camille Brand, Holden Brew, Eric Buckley, Carly Coggins, Gracie Coggins, Sadie Crampton, Audrey Dubois, Elizabeth Feeney, Dylan Fondren, Jackson Gearhart, Lucia Gomez Ibanez, Thomas Gu, Theo Harding, Madison Haywood, and Jeffrey Camden Jepson. Lila Journalist, Matthew Kahn, Dina Kettner, Susanna Lowell, Julietta Marzat, Jack McGinnis, Annabelle Mattel, Nicholas Metry, Eva Muldoon, Will Palmer, Reed Reinold, Henry Richens, Waylon Sauer, Jojo Torres, Sarah Valley, Maggie Ward, and Charlotte Watts. Congratulations. And I'm certainly hopeful that by the time our report cards come out this spring, a few more of you will have earned your way onto that list. Thank you so much for taking your academics so seriously. So I have, I want to say about 5 general prizes to present. And the first is the Patrice Buxton Award, which was established by the faculty in 2005 upon Mrs. Buxton's retirement. And it honors a love of reading. And there are 2 of these, and the narrative reads together, so you can both come up at the same time. These 2 students are ardent and faithful readers who immerse themselves in an astounding number of stories this school year. But it's not only the volume of the books they read, it's also the wide range of reading material that makes these 2 young ladies exceptional. Their choices have ranged from classics such as To Kill a Mockingbird and The Giver, to memoirs, such as Tara Westover's Educated and Michelle Obama's Becoming, to devouring series by Rick Riordan, Carl Hiaasen, Maureen Johnson's Truly Devious, and even, yes, the Twilight series by Stephanie Meyer. You can often find them in lively debate with their classmates about book preferences, and they'll back up their opinions in thoughtful responses taken from their reading. Their curiosity and joyful serendipity in discovering new reads is not only contagious, but also illustrates the generosity of spirit and positive example they bring to our community. It is our distinct pleasure to present this year's Patrice Buxton Award to each of Arden O'Neill and Faye McGuire. The Middle School Meltzer Award, established by Dr. Barry Meltzer and Faye Meltzer, an early trustee of the school, goes to the student who has shown the greatest academic growth. And this year, the award goes to two highly deserving students. And we'll bring them up one at a time, the way these are written. The first recipient's teachers unanimously acknowledge this student for her burgeoning classroom engagement, her unflagging optimistic spirit, and her willingness to tackle tough issues. Her teachers have marveled with admiration at the strides she has taken in such a short time and expect the best is yet to come. Our first Meltzer Prize goes to Jojo Torres. And the second recipient's teachers have observed academic confidence growing in this young man by the day. In particular, he attacks hands-on, tool-based, project-oriented tasks with equal parts enthusiasm and determination. In recognition of the distance he has traveled, and I'm not referring to his hour-long morning commute, the second Meltzer Prize goes to Waylon Sauer. Okay, the Middle School Olson Award, established by Trustee Emeritus Charles Olson and Brenda Olson, recognizes a student who pursues love of learning for its own sake. This year's recipient of the Olson Award has demonstrated an insatiable, albeit quiet, hunger for learning. Never one to settle, he seeks out new challenges and engages tirelessly in a relentless search for connections between his education and the larger world. His thirst for understanding is surpassed only by his generosity in sharing that pursuit with others. Our classrooms have just been better places because our recipient, Camden Jepson, has been in them. And our final award is is the Homer P. Clark Award, established by Helen McGregor, an early trustee of the school, and it honors the middle school student who best reflects the ideals of Falmouth Academy. Our recipient is an ebullient, mature, unifying force whose kindness permeates the 8th grade and beyond. The faculty applauds, subject verb agreement, this modest student's willingness to lead by example and to encourage others to pursue excellence and empathy in every arena. Patient, perceptive, persistent, she is a natural leader in the classroom, the music studio, the laboratory, and particularly on the field of sport, though not our particular field of sport. She is the deserving recipient of the Clark Award, one for whom that old cliche, learning for learning's sake, was coined. Please join me in congratulating Yasmin Aubrey. Well, that just about concludes our ceremony, and by extension, our year together. Before we go, a few thank yous, some directions on the remainder of the day, and a comment or two. Thank you, Ms. Walters, Ms. Ledwell, and Ms. Klein, who really were the driving forces putting this morning's event together. Thank you, Mr. Lebec, Mr. Sperduto, Mr. Sheridan, and Mr. Dooley for setting up and breaking down this and many, many events in the last few days or weeks. And thank you, Mr. Shar and Mr. Jodwin, for managing, as usual, our sound and video. As for directions, in a few moments, I will dismiss you by grade to exit out of the back of the gym, where you will first see, I believe, Ms. Walters and Ms. Knowles handing out yearbooks. And for those of you who have published work, hard copies of Resonance, I believe Ms. Sterner already talked about that. Further into the gym parking lot, I think Ms. Hinkle and others will be handing out popsicles for those of you who would like one. Students who are being picked up by car should be sure to be in the gym gravel parking lot out here by 12:45. And students who are taking school buses should report to the front yard, also by 12:45. For some of you, this is your last official day at Falmouth Academy. But we hope we will see you again. You are always welcome. To the rest of you, please know that though I am, like you, looking forward to a summer of rest and recreation, I cannot wait to see you in September, perhaps more than you cannot wait to see me, when we will fully re-emerge into a Falmouth Academy that is equal parts pre- and post-pandemic, and make it our own. Have a wonderful summer. I'm going to now begin by dismissing those of you whose last name begins with A through L, who are in the 8th grade.